We've been led to believe that each person, because of their genetics, because of their individual DNA, because of their makeup, they have different diet requirements for themselves. Well, that's just a whole lot of propaganda to get you on the wrong track. As long as you're not on the right track, you're always going to have health problems. It turns out that if you even go back to scriptural references, it talks about every tree in the garden is good for food, and they were all fruit trees. So think about a fruit tree. It is sitting right in your face, and there's been a massive war against fruit to try to condemn it, to say, oh, you don't want to have so many carbs from fruit. You know, fructose is bad, glucose is bad. That's total propaganda. So over the last 20 years, I've gone through every imaginable iteration of all types of diets. And I've come to the conclusion that there is no titles anymore at all for any diets. I mean, you've got vegan, vegetarian, carnivore, omnivore, paleo, keto, whatever. These are all titles designed to distract you from what your body actually wants. And what your body actually wants is just super energy at all times. You want to have the deepest sleeps, the best mental energy, the best emotional energy, and the best physical energy all day long, every single day. Plus, you want to get healthier every single day into the future. That's the key performance indicator. If you're getting healthier every day into the future, then you just keep on living. And when you find out what your body actually wants and what it doesn't want, you have to ignore all the marketing in the whole world, whether it's coming from mainstream media, from natural news, from anywhere imaginable. You just got to get into your own space and figure it out for yourself. So what I found out is that when you consume fat of any kind, I don't care what kind of fat it is, if you're consuming any kind of volume, because a little bit of fat doesn't hurt anybody, but when you're consuming large amounts, it completely plugs up all the receptor sites in your cells across the board in your body. It disallows your insulin to bring the glucose into the cell efficiently, and therefore the glucose doesn't get in. Then now you have free insulin and free glucose, which they call insulin resistance, which they blame on the sugars and the carbohydrates. It is completely backwards. I found out that when I eliminated all fat completely, entirely out of my diet, all of a sudden my energy levels went through the roof, and I have perfect energy, no crashes. I don't need any stimulants. I've got very clean energy all day long. My body is living on carbohydrates at a very efficient level. It used to be when I would do carbs, I would get a crash. It would mess with me. That's because I had fat plugging up all my cells. As soon as I eliminated that and went to a full carb diet with tons of sugar, and I'm talking about the good kinds of sugar because fruit sugars are the best. And if you look at the trace minerals that are coming out of the earth, they come up through the fruit trees, all the way up from deep in the ground with the roots, all the way through the trunk, all the way through the branches to the fruit. And the fruit has everything in it, trace mineral-wise, that you need. And you add that with the sea minerals in your water at 5 grams a liter. Now you've got the perfect combination for your body to be fueled super clean. And it's just outrageously amazing. So the breakthrough that happened with that is permanent. I've now gone through every cycle. This is the final deal. If you want to have pure energy and you want to forget all the marketing hype and all the garbage that's promoted to us by all the gurus, experts, and sages, you're going to have a body that turns on like you've never dreamed possible. And until you do it, you can't know that it's true. So I was consuming lots of egg yolks every day in a smoothie and thinking I'm doing like a great big superfood. Well, it used to be way back in the day, 100 years ago, that eggs were actually good. But what happened is the medical world figured out that they could use eggs to feed bugs and promote bugs into the human body through many different means. And things like Epstein-Barr virus, streptococcus, whatever. All these things that are at the bottom underlying, and when your immune system gets compromised a little bit, then it has a great effect upon your body. Well, eggs happen to feed all those bugs. It's a superfood for bugs. So if you want to have a lot of overload of all these microbial things in your body, eat lots of eggs. Just go right ahead and eat as many eggs as you like, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, the fact is, as soon as I got off of the eggs completely, my whole body energy changed dramatically, and it didn't take very long. It was just a few days. So the whole thing with eggs is a big, huge misinformation now because they used eggs and weaponized them against us. They used to be good for us. Now they're very bad for us. because you have to keep your microbial population down as far as possible, because that's messing with your whole energy system. Don't feed the bugs in your body. Unfortunately, eggs are a massive problem in that regard. So yeah, you'll find out by just eliminating them completely. I will never touch an egg for the rest of my life. I'll make sure that they are off my menu totally. And the same thing applies to fats. I don't want fats going in my body because they plug up my receptor sites. So that the billions of dollars of marketing that is being spent to convince us of something that isn't true, to keep us down, we're always trying to find a way to bring our energy up, and we don't want to admit that we're wrong. We have to admit, hey, we're wrong about certain things. And the way you tell is your physiology. Your physiology is going to be improving continuously with more and more actual real energy all day, or it's not. If you're getting more energy all day and you're not having to take any stimulus to get it, then you're on the right track. And it will take you a while for your body to turn around. And absolutely your body runs on carbs. Your brain is mostly made of glucose, not fat. Your brain has fat in it. But if you think your brain is mostly fat, you're mistaken. Your brain wants glucose. Your entire body wants glucose. And it has to be clean fuel coming in, not conflicted with anything else. And it doesn't matter how controversial it is. Who cares? You've been lied to. I was lied to. And so if we believe a lie, we will promote a lie. And all you got to do is find out for yourself. Just do a test. Drop all fats, drop all eggs, drop all these heavy-duty protein things, get into the carbohydrates, and watch how your body turns on like you've never dreamed possible. So we've been led to believe that each person, because of their genetics, because of their individual DNA, because of their makeup, they have different diet requirements for themselves. Well, that's just a whole lot of propaganda to get you on the wrong track. As long as you're not on the right track, you're always going to have health problems. It turns out that if you even go back to scriptural references, it talks about every tree in the garden is good for food, and they were all fruit trees. So think about a fruit tree. It is sitting right in your face. And there's been a massive war against fruit to try to condemn it, to say, oh, you don't want to have so many carbs from fruit. Fructose is bad, glucose is bad. That's total propaganda. If you go to a tree, it has roots that go deep, deep into the ground. All the nutrients from the soil, it pulls as much as it can through the root system, up to the trunk, out through the branches to these beautiful fruits that are on the tree. And you can go up and harvest the fruit from the tree, and the tree doesn't die. The tree is giving you something of high value. It has a whole bunch of electrolytes in it. It has all the fructose, which converts to the proper kind of glucose your body wants. It is the pure energy for your body. If you're a high-performance individual where you're constantly going all day long, or you're just a person who's very physically active, you absolutely are powered by all these glyconutrients that are inside the fruit. It works for every single person. If you eat fruit and you get headaches and you're dragging out and you feel bad, that is because you have absolutely other food that is totally conflicting with it, getting in the way, preventing the glucose of getting into the cell, because your cells are all plugged up with all the wrong kind of fats, all the wrong kind of foods, and all the wrong kind of catabolites. As soon as you eliminate all the wrong foods and go to straight up fruit, most of your consumption of food is going to be through there, or really powerful carbs, which is in rice, like white rice is perfectly great for carbs. But you stick with that, that's where you get the power. That's where you get the energy. You have to clean your body out. It'll take you a few weeks of eating a large amount of fruit and a large amount of really clean carbs that are good for you to get your body sorted out. You just have to go through 2 or 3 weeks of this, and then you're sailing. But you cannot have anything that conflicts with fruit. Fruit is the number one food for our bodies across the board. It is absolutely powerful. It's sitting there ready to eat. That's one fruit that you don't have to do anything to eat it. You just pick it, make sure it's ripe. But when fruit is ripe, it is the most beneficial thing that you can eat, and that applies to every single person on earth. So if you've been convinced otherwise, that's because you're eating the wrong other foods. You go to that clarity, find out for yourself. The only way you can know that this is true is by doing it. And if you go, I don't believe that, I'm not doing it, well, then you're not going to do it. You're not going to believe it. That's fine. You do whatever you want, but I just found out after 20 years and over $100 million invested in every imaginable type of natural health remedy and health protocol, at the end of the day, it came down to fruit being the number one major nutrient.
Eat all the fruit.
And I have a friend down in Ohio who's now in his 80s, He was told by a guy one time that if you take 1 month of the year, and he chose January, and you just get Honey Bell oranges from Florida, and you only consume the juice from those oranges for a full month, watch what happens. And so every year he does this, he erases like 15 years of appearance off of his life. He looks 15 years younger, at least, or if not more. He glows and he feels absolutely fantastic. He's got total energy all January. Then he goes back to his regular garbage diet from February all through the rest of the year, and he's back down looking old again by the end of the year. He does it every January, and he goes, oh, this is what I love January's for. Well, why not just do that every single month? If you do it every single month for the rest of your life, you stay young and glowing and high energy, feeling fantastic with a super glow. That's the bottom line. So don't ever let anybody tell you that you have to stuff yourself into a box and you have to be this because of your heritage or your hunter-gatherers or your vegetarians or your vegans or whatever. Those titles are garbage. They don't mean anything. Get rid of the titles. The only reason I ever liked the title is because I was entitled. So I lost my entitlement. Get rid of that stuff. Just think about your body and supporting it to the maximum possible for you. And I guarantee that when you do this, your cost of living is going to go way down. Your health is going to go way up. And you're going to simply be on your mission and on your path, seeing all the visions come to reality, all your dreams come to reality. And that's where you want to live.